Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Bhante,
Bhante.
and everyone.
Bhante.
Yeah, good evening,
Good
Bhante.
evening, Bhante and everyone.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening. All right. Good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome back to the online Pali reading class. Day 40, I would say 48.
49.
49, yes, you are right.
Evening, Bhante.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, short of 1 day to 50. Yes. Good
Soon
evening.
we'll
Yes. Yes, Kim. Yes.
you're back in Sri Lanka.
Yes, I'm in Sri Lanka at the moment. Yes. All right. So we have few newcomers too at the moment. But shall we pay respect to the Buddha and then we'll get started? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Right. So online Pali reading class. It's being hosted by Pali Sota, and today we are going to conduct day 49 of this class. The primary purpose of this class is not to give a Pali grammatical knowledge, rather understanding the context of Pali in terms of Dhamma, because Pali has been a secular language after a certain time. It has been even used for literature, some secular wording. So our main purpose with our timing is to understand the Dhamma context of the Pali. Actually, there is no language called Pali. If you are a scholar, you might know. The language real name is Magadhi, the vernacular of the state of Magadha. It's not Pali. Pali is a word in the Magadhi dictionary, which seems to be line, paddy field, and then later on it denotes the canon, Dhamma and Vinaya. All right, so we have few newcomers, and I think I already informed them about their chanting group, and then the rest they can catch up on how we do the class. Let's go to the text first. Okay. Today we are supposed to study Dhammapada 15 and 16 stanzas, which comes under Yamaka Varga. The Pali word Yamaka means dichotomies. That means I would say it comes with two stanzas in the row. One stanza talks about the negative side or bad side of the issue. The other stanza talks about the good side, how to overcome that issue. Now today, you can see the same. For an example, 15, stanza number 15 talks about the issue, and then number 16 talks about the answer, solution to the problem. First, I'm going to recite stanza. Ida sochati pecha sochati papakari ubayat sochati so sochati so vihanyati disva kamma kilitamata. Once again, ida sochati pecha sochati papakari ubayat sochati so sochati so vihanyati disva kamma kilita disva kamma kilita mata. Okay, so we will be asking then groups to read. First, chanting group 1. Somebody would like to read. So please raise your virtual hand so I will see who that person is. Okay, and Singh, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida so chati, picha so chati, papakari, ubayata so chati. So chati, so vihanyati, diswa kama, kilita matano.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And we'll be asking from group 2. Group 2, Saman. Yes, Kim, please go ahead.
Ida sochati pacha sochati. Papa kari ubayata sochati. So sochati so vihanyati. Diswa kama kili tamatano.
Okay, so would you like to read those words that I underlined here in red?
Papa kari ubayata.
How did you pronounce it?
Papa kari.
It's not Papa. Papakari. Papakari, yes. P long A. Papakari.
Papa kari.
Papakari. Ida sochati, pecha sochati, papakari.
Papa kari.
Great. Papakari, we have the sochati. Then so
Chati so vihanyati.
Vihanya. Yes, great.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. And someone from group 3. Group 3. Okay, Paripurna, let's go ahead.
Ida sochati pecha sochati, papa kari ubayata sochati, so sochati so vihanyati, disva kama kilita matano.
Great. So normally when we read these Pali words, some of the words that we already know in other languages would come. We know people use papa, for the father, but this could come when you read something closer to papa. Papakari, papa, evil. Okay, group number 4, KB on, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Ida suchati, pecha suchati. Papa kari ubayata suchati. So suchati, so vihanyati. Diswa kama kilita matano.
Okay, great.
Thank
you. Then group 5. Yes, Brenda, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida sochati pecha sochati. Papa kari upayata sochati. So sochati so vihanyati. Diswa kama kilita matano.
Okay, so did you say papakari?
Papa kari.
Papakari.
Papa kari.
Papakari, where the sochati. Okay, good.
Okay.
Great. And group 6. Someone from group 6. If not, group 7. Aliana, yes, please. Yes. Welcome to the class. Yes.
Ida sochati pecha sochati. Papa kari ubayata sochati. So sochati so vihanyati. Diswa kama kilita matano.
Okay, great. Okay, then last group, group 8. Doris, let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Ida so chati pacha so chati. Papakari ubayata so chati. So chati so vihanyati. Disva kama kilita matano.
Okay, great. Now
Thank
we
you,
are
Bhante.
giving the opportunity to others who would like to read. First, I would ask from Oi. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, please go ahead.
Ida Suchati Picha Suchati. Papakari Ubayata Suchati. So Suchati So Vihanati. Diswa Kama Kilita Matano.
Yeah, great. And we have Pochu Wong. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante. Sorry,
Yeah.
Bhante, just now wasn't mindful. I didn't realize I was not muted.
That's okay.
Sorry,
I heard
Bhante.
that you are rehearsing way before your
Okay.
chance. It's good. Yes, please go
Ida
ahead.
so chati, pecha so chati. Papakari upayata so chati. So chati, so vihanyati. Diswa kama kilita matano.
Okay, great.
Thank
And
you,
we have
Bhante.
May Oi. Yes.
Ida Sojati Pecha Sojati. Papa Kari Upayata Sojati. So Sojati. So Vihanati. Diswa Kamalita Matano.
Swakama Kilita Matan.
Kama Kilita Matano.
Yes, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. And then we have Serene.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida Sochati Pecha Sochati. Papa Kari Ubayata Sochati. So Sochati So Vihanyati. Diswa Kama Kilita Matano.
Yeah, great. You found it. Yes. And then we have Nine Cheng. This.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida Sochati Pecha Sochati. Papa Kari Ubayata Sochati. So Sochati So Vihanyati. Diswa Kama Kilitamatano.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And we have CHR. Yes. CHR, I don't hear you. I don't know whether others can hear you. Something. Can others hear CHR?
No, Bhante cannot hear.
Something, yeah.
No, cannot. I think she did not
Would you
unmute.
mind? Would you mind fixing your audio? We'll give you the chance after if that is possible. Yeah. Yeah, still we don't hear you. Yeah, we'll give you another chance at the end. Don't worry. I think hopefully we'll be able to fix your audio. Yes, Rashmi, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Idha sochati, pecha sochati, papakari, ubhayatha sochati, so vihanyati, disva kamma kilitha mattano.
The so sochati and then yeah. So sochati.
So sochati, so vihanyati.
Behind it. Okay, great. All right. And asking Lobby. Yeah, Billing. Yes, Billing. Yes. Is Billing with us? If not, I will give the chance
Sorry,
to
Bhante. Sorry, Bhante.
Okay, please go ahead.
Ida Suchati Pecha Sochati. Papa Kari Ubayata Sochati. So Sochati So Vihanyati. Diswa Kama Kirita Matano.
Okay, great.
Thank
And
you.
we have Corina.
Okay, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida Sojati Pecha Sojati. Papa Kari Upayata Sojati. So Chati So Vihanyati. Diswa Kaman Kilita Mantano.
Oh, can you read again the last two lines, please?
So society, so vihanyati. Diswa kaman kilita mantano.
I think there is something to figure out. So here, actually, I put some dots after certain letters just to, break just to make a post those words. Diswa,
kaman
no, diswa kamma. Just make a post. Diswa kamma kilita
matano.
You like to go again the whole stanza?
Yeah, okay. Idam sociati pecha sociati.
Did you say idam or ida?
Yeah, ida sociati pecha sociati. Papa kari ubayata sociati. So sociati so vihanyati. Disa kama kilit. Diswa kama kilita matano.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Fast learning.
Didn't say it in Chan.
Fast learning. Okay, 2 pen, please. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida, sorry. Ida sujati pecha sujati. Papa kari ubayata sujati. So chati so vihanyati. Diswa kama kilata matano.
Great. And we have Indra.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Ida sociati pecha sociati. Papakari ubayatta sociati. So sociati so bihanyati. Diswa kama kilita matano.
Okay, great. And we have Rachel.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Rachel, please.
Yeah, Bhante. Ida so jati pecha so jati. Papakari ubayatta so jati. So jati so vihanyati. Diswa kamma kilita matano.
Okay, great. And finally, Annie.
Yes, Bhante, thank you.
Yes.
Ida sociati pecha sociati. Papakari ubayata sociati. So sociati so vihanyati. Disva kama kilita matan.
Okay, great. Anybody else who would like to read, who could not read earlier? If not, we are going to move on to the next stanza. All right, seems there's nobody. So we're going to go into the next stanza. The thing is that here we have 2 stories today. The first stanza has a different story, and second stanza is another story. You can actually put them together and discuss this at the end. Okay, second stanza. Idha modati pecha modati kata punyo ubhayatha modati. So modati, so pamodati, disva kamma visuddhi mattana. Disva kamma visuddhi mattana. Once again, idha modati pecha modati kata punyo ubhayatha modati. So modati, so pamodati, disva kamma visuddhi mattana. All right, so we are giving the opportunity to the groups. First, starting with group 1. Get someone from group 1. Yes, Annie, let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Ida modati pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Disva kamma visuddhi mattanam.
Okay, great. Group 2. Oh, who would like to read? Is it Suzanne or Indra? 3 people from the same group. Raise their virtual hand.
Suzanne, please go ahead.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Thank
okay.
you.
I'll give the chance to Kim later. Is that okay, Kim?
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Ita modati, pecha modati, kata punyo, upayata modati, so modati, so pamodati, disva, kama visuddhi matano.
Hey, great. And group 3.
Can I try, Bhante?
Yes, please, Corina. Okay.
Corina.
Yes.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo, ubah yata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Great. And we have KB on group 4.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida mudati, pecha mudati. Kata punyo ubayata mudati, so mudati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Matano. Yes. Great.
Thank you.
And group 5. Is it, yeah, Melinda, I think, yes. Billing, are you from group 4 or group 5?
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Yes, please, Melinda. Go ahead.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Katam punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great. And group 6. Group 6. Someone from group 6. Reading who are in the group 6 over here. Right. Yes. If not, in group 7. Someone from group 7. Yes, Alia, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Great. And group 8. Last group. Okay, Doris, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati, pacha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
So I'm going to be asking Kim to read. Yes, Kim.
Thank you,
Give a
Bhante.
chance to others. Yes.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Hey, great. And give a chance to Billing.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great. And we have Chong Paklan. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Great. And we have Rashmi.
Idha modati, pecha modati, kata punyo uvayatha modati, so modati, so pamodati, disva kamma visuddhi matano.
Great. And your answer is?
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. so modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Great.
Thank
And
you,
Ryan
Bhante.
Chen. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Great.
Thank you.
And we have Oi. Yes.
Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati pacha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Can you go again for the first line, please? Ida.
Ida modati pacha modati.
No, it's not pacha. Pacha is another Pali word. This is pacha, right?
No.
This is called pecha.
Sorry. Ida
Ida
modati pecha modati.
pecha mode. Yeah. Pecha. Okay, great.
Thank you.
And Paripurna, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great. And we have Serin. Let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, Serin.
Yeah. Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubaha yata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great. I hear some others are trying to rehearse. Can you please mute your audio just to make sure that, okay, thank you. Great, Serin. And then we have Exim. Yes, Exim. Let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ida modati pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great. And Indra?
Thank you, Bhante. Ida modati, pecha modati, katapunyo ubayatha modati, so modati, so pamodati, diswa kamma visuddhi mattano.
Okay, great. And we have Shirley Sumana.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Da modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayatha modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Right, great. And finally, Ochuwon.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, sure.
Ida modati pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And we have May Oi.
Ida modati pecha modati. Kata puno upayata modati. So modati so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
All right, anybody else like to read?
Okay, Bhante, I read.
Yes, Hema, please go ahead.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matato. Matano.
Matano. Yeah.
Matano. Thank
Okay,
you.
great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And yes, Rachel.
Bhante?
Yes.
Ida modati, pecha modati. Kata punyo ubayata modati. So modati, so pamodati. Diswa kama visuddhi matano.
Okay, great. I think everybody who want to read, right? Yeah, going to the explanation at this point. Let's go back. If you carefully looked at the Dhammapada stanzas at this point, so far at this point, you may have seen that the ideology of the meaning kind of narrowing down to the good karma and bad karma, I would say kusala, akusala aspects at this point. If you could remember the last two stanzas we studied, they were about how to stop this what you call unnecessary lust, right? It was about Bhante Nanda, right? Whom he had a relationship and going to marry, and then finally he changed his mind. But from today, you would see that the Buddha is talking about good karma, bad karma. Actually, Dhammapada was not prepared by the Buddha himself. It was prepared by monks who were in the first council. So they picked up the most important stanzas from the Sutta Pitaka itself. And then they collected nice chapters. The first chapter is pairs, dichotomies. One stanza talks about something bad. The other stanza is the solution for that, how to overcome that bad issue. This is the first chapter. When we go to the second chapter, Appamadavaka, it's about how to become a person who is diligent. All the stanzas we see in the second chapter is about how to be diligent, right? So in this way, these chapters, which we have as 26 chapters and 423 verses, they all are about something interesting. So let's see what this stanza is talking about in particular. Okay, Ida sochati pecha sochati papakari ubhayatta sochati. What is this stanza about? This is about someone who is doing bad karma, akusalas. I think we have to understand something very interesting over here. That is this Pali word, papakari. Perhaps you may have heard these Pali words, papa, then akusala. This is the what you call wrong side. Or you may have heard punya and kusala. Punya and kusala. We understand papa is connected to punya. They are relatively taken, and akusala is connected to kusala. But here you could see the Buddha uses the Pali word called papa. Papakari, the person who is doing the papa is called papakari. Okay, let's find the basic meaning and then we discuss this. Papakari, the one who is making papas, I would say, in other words, we'd say evil activities or bad karmas. Ubhayatta sochati. But before that, you can see Ida sochati. Ida means in this life. Pecha means, what does pecha means? Pecha means next life. Pecha. Now, why is the Pali word pecha related to the next life? Pecha. We know the Pali word peta. Peta means those people who pass away. Right? So it is similarly taken as pecha. Pecha means the next life, because we don't know where we will be reborn. Right? Either means in this life, pecha means next life. Sochati. Sochati means grieves. Sochati means grieves. Again, sochati means grieves. So papakari, the one who is doing evil, I would say, bad karma, grieves in this life and in the next life. Right? Not even that, ubhayatta sochati. Because sometimes some people who are doing bad karmas, they don't grieve, they don't suffer in this life. Isn't it? Those people who have done good karmas in a previous life, now they are going through happiness. But now they are doing bad karmas. So they don't suffer it alone. So they will suffer mostly in the next life. But there are people who are suffering now who are going to suffer in the next life as well. Right? So that's why the Buddha separates out that the papakari, the evil person, suffers here, or I would say grieves here and then grieves in the next lives. And then some people, they are grieving in the both lives, this life and the previous life. Then, so sochati, so vihanyati. So we can say he or she. It's kind of a gender neutral word here. So. Now, you may have seen that Buddha does not use the female suffixes a lot. Why is it? Unless he talks about, bhikkhuni, khandaka, and those things, Buddha mostly uses the male, the masculine suffixes. Why is it? Because he was bothered by the Indian society at that time. Indian society, it was pretty much given more focus on the man.
Male.
So that's why he does not use sa. It could have been sa. Sa sochati, sa vihanyati. But say so sochati, so vihanyati. But we take it as a gender neutral word because we are learning it from a different life, different age of our Dhamma understanding. How we understand it as a gender neutral word. Say so means both he or she. Because not only man makes a bad karma, right? Everybody is making bad karmas. If the conditions are coming, everybody makes bad karma. So it shouldn't be only the man. On the other hand, when it comes to doing good karma, it's not only on the man, but also everybody who's making good karmas. Okay, so sochati, so vihanyati. He or she grieves because of the bad karmas he or she has done. And so vihanyati, afflicted with suffering. Sometimes there are people who simply grieve. They simply grieve, but they don't suffer. Grief and suffering. Now, when somebody passes away in our family corners, in our, circles, friend circles, sometimes we grieve, but we don't suffer. So suffering is optional, right? So that's why at times there are people, when they do bad karma, they not only grieve, but also they suffer. They are afflicted with mental, physical, emotional suffering. Then what's the last piece of understanding? Why they are going to grieve and afflict with suffering? It is because this one they're going to see attano. Attano means their own. Kamma kilitta. Kilitta means defile, impure, karmas. So they are going to grieve and then afflict with suffering because they can see their own defiled acts. I would say akusala acts. Sometimes we can forget about our own bad karmas. We can forget about our if we have done evil things in our life, even a tiny evil thing. Can we forget about our evil things when we are good, when we are in good health, when we are in happy moods, when we are having everything? Can we forget about our evil life? We can, right? But the Buddha says this hiding, concealing of the bad karma will come again at the time when we are going to die. At that point, it's going to be a turning point of our mental states. So those bad karmas will be popping up in our mind. That's why some people are very worried, Bhante, how to die mindfully, peacefully, asking. Have you done a lot of bad karma? Are you asking because of that? Why are you so worried about your last moment? Just do your practice. Last moment will be somewhere in that practice. Don't have to worry about it. Don't ask how to die mindfully. I always remind many people, if you upload a video onto YouTube, how to die mindfully, YouTube will red flag the video and then take it away. Why is it? And they think that you are teaching people how to die mindfully. Right? Sometimes you are encouraging suicide. It might be. Right? So even an idea about this dying mindfully without understanding the whole practice is not going to work. That means at the moment of the death, it is said that our Chetana part, the Chetana part will become very, what you call, indifferent. It's not that powerful. Now we can intensify our Chetana, volition at this moment. I'm giving a dana, so I have to be in the best thought in that dana, during that dana. Yes, alobha, dosa, moha, what you call dana, metta, panya. But during the moment of our death, it is said that our ability to intensify our volition is going very low. It's because the body knows consciousness is going to go away soon. So then consciousness doesn't want to make sure that it's in the high mood. It's in its entire full swing. So that a lot of people, they are going through this issue. We call the nature, this bad state of mind, as Maya. The Pali word for this is Maya. I think students, they know this Pali word, Maya. What does Maya mean? Maya. What does Maya mean? Maya. What are you asking? She is the Buddha's mother. Somebody can say. I'm not talking about that Maya, It's a personal name. Maya is a upakilesa, one of the 16 upakilesas, impure mind states. Maya means concealing one's own akusalas, hiding one's own akusalas from others. Can we do that? We can. But only when you become a sotapanna, you cannot hide your akusalas. You cannot hide your own akusalas. Where did the Buddha mention that? In the
Ratana Sutta.
In the Ratana Sutta. Right? Then you are not doing this Maya nature anymore. How did he say that? Ababbo sotassa patichadaya ababbata ditta padassa buddha. Ababbo, a sotapanna person, is ineligible to hide her own incapabilities in terms of akusalas. Ababbo, ineligible. Sotassa patichadaya, to cover, to conceal, patichada. Very interesting. I think we always chant these suttas, but we never get to the meaning. Why is it? Because it's a monk's job, Chanting is the monk's job. We just listen to it, isn't it? Protecting the country is the soldier's job. Governing the country is the politician's job. So we let it be done by other people. We never go to the meaning. So we don't know the Dhamma. That's very important. We have to listen to this chanting and then go back home and read what is this about. So then we understand more. Every time when this part of the Ratana Sutta is being chanted, what they are chanting, these sotapannas cannot conceal their own akusalas. A good understanding. Chanting, understanding, they both come together. Perhaps become an enlightened person at the end. Who knows? Never know. So, the idea that Maya, the nature of Maya is one or two upakilesas which the Buddha talks under many suttas. I think Anumana Sutta. In many Majjhima Nikaya's early suttas, Buddha talks about these 16 upakilesas. So now here what is happening is that, let's go back again to the stanza here. Okay, karma kilitta mattano. Now, because you have done bad karmas, suppose you have done bad karmas, you get to see your own defiled, corrupted, polluted mind when you die. You get to see your own mind. What have I done? Messed up in my life with individuals, in my dosa, in my lust, I messed up with somebody. I messed up with somebody for different issues. So then that is why somebody who has done that going to grieve in this life at the same time. Next life, and here continues to grieve and afflicted with suffering. What are the examples? Now, let's talk about the story of this example. The story is about somebody who sold pork, actually. Was killing pigs all the time. It was next to the Buddha's temple, Veluvanaram. There are a couple stories going on about this person. It is said that Chunda Sukara. Now, Chunda, as you can see the name here, Chunda means Chunda. It's not Chunda. Chunda Sukara. Sukara. Sukara means, what does Sukara means?
Pig.
Sukara means pig. Pig, P-I-G. Sukara. So Sukarika means Chunda Sukarika, the one who is killing the pigs. So,
Butcher.
Yeah, it's a butcher, right? He's not even a butcher. He's butchering, slaughtering the pigs and then selling. It is said that this Chunda Sukarika, killing and selling, and also consuming large amount of pork every day with his family members. Every day. Large amount of pork. He's not even killing and selling. So he has stopped his family in understanding Dhamma, practicing Dhamma. He has stopped everybody. And one day he got sick just before he passed away. It is said that he was screaming like a pig. So the Buddha overheard this sound. Who is this? This is not the sound of, this is not a usual time of pigs making their own sound. Somebody else. And he understood this is Chunda Sukarika, who kill large amount of pigs in this life. And then what happened? He was suffering a lot. He screamed like a pig for many days, and then finally he passed away. What do you think about this story? Sometimes there are people who have done a lot of bad karmas to other people. Just before they pass away, they go through the similar pain. It can, These karmas always work back and forth. Right? So this person has been suffering and then screaming like a pig. And then, because all the time, probably these pigs, when they are dying, they may have cursed this guy. Probably. They are seeing him all the time. Curse. This guy is killing us now. Next time, us. This. And then that curse came to the Chunda Sukarika, and he passed away. And it is said that he was reborn in hell, Avicii hell. So this is the story. I think this is a very, what you call, high-end example for this idea. When you do a bad karma, you will grieve in this life and next life, and sometimes you will grieve in the both life, because you can see your own bad karma, how you did that particular bad karma. Right? So that is the idea of this stanza. Any questions to this story, this stanza, before we go to the second stanza?
Bhante?
Yes.
Okay, like just before the person passed away, whatever he's done, the pig or dog, they have that sound. Is it an indication that they are going into that sort of direction?
Not everybody will go through this problem, but some.
Yeah.
It is a level of their bad karma. It can happen to some. But it's not a free pass, huh? Don't think that we can do bad karma, we will not go through this situation. But it can happen. It can happen.
Yeah, because I have seen the dog barking and then some are screaming like monkeys. So is it an indication that next few life they could be born in this realm, monkey and dogs who are taking revenge on you?
Probably. I cannot say exactly because I don't know what can happen
Possibility is
next
there?
life. But there are connections. There are real connections that can happen because idea here is that we cannot bypass our bad karma. If you understand that, then it's okay.
Yeah.
We think we can bypass all the bad karma we did. But we cannot. Now, if you take a very extreme example, Angulimala. Now, Angulimala killed many people. But Angulimala, just before he was going to kill his mother, Buddha saved him and then he became an Arahant. But still people pelted stones at him. He was already almost like, wounded by many people, but he passed away as an Arahant. So it is very different. Rather, we look at the damage someone will go through because of the bad karma. Let's try to protect us from falling into the bad karmas. Because different people go through different happiness or different pain. So there are real connections. I think I always share this story, which you may perhaps read this story in the book called Jinnah Seminar. It's kind of a very 70s book. She wrote down in the book called Many Mansions. In this Many Mansions, he he actually introduces studies made by Edgar Cayce, the very earliest, somebody who has been doing hypnotism. In the stories, you see real stories there. There was a woman who had a severe back pain, and then no treatment worked out for her. And then finally, she went for hypnotism. And then Edgar Cayce hypnotized her, and Edgar Cayce could take her to many other lives back. And she stopped at a certain life in 13th century, 13th to 14th century, somewhere. She was reborn as a lady in a country, probably in a European country, where the kings and the royal families were trying to enjoy a certain sport. This particular sports event was called, like, they bring certain humans into the stadium, and then they set lions to go kill them alive. So, and then there were onlookers. So one of the onlookers in that group, in that stadium, was this particular lady. She didn't order anything. She didn't say anything, but she was enjoying when the people were killed live and eaten live by lions. Because of that, it's a weird, crazy happiness that she enjoyed. She got this back. Nobody can cure it. Because when the lions are tearing apart other humans' back, she was happy. Oh, this is happening. Right? So that means we should even not enjoy when other people do bad karma. You might not do the bad karma. We should not even be happy when people are shooting, stabbing, killing, fights, because this can come back to us. Even it is said that the Shakyamuni Buddha went through certain bad karmas in certain ways, but there is no particular acceptance in many places. It is said that he had a particular headache. He had also a back pain. Sometimes when he was giving Dhamma talks, he said, my back is painful, so somebody else is going to take over. And then there are stories where we understand he was happy in a previous life when other people were catching fish. Other people were catching fish. He was simply happy. Oh, nice fish. I think they are catching in the proper way. And this is why they said he got this migraine, this headache. So this means all these tiny dots can be connected to karma. So I think in front of the karma, we should be really careful because we don't want to go through pain till we attain Nibbana. So in this story, Chunda Sukara story is a high-end story, like a very severe story. We don't have to pick up this kind of a story to talk about karma, but definitely morning to evening, he killed a lot of pigs. And then not even he killed, he also killed for the family every day. And he was fully occupied with his killing and then all those things. So just before he passed away, he started screaming like a pig, real pig. And then he passed away. He suffered here, he suffered in the next life. All right, any more questions about this? Yes, Mike.
Bhante,
Yes.
you mentioned griefs but not suffering. To me, I feel like grieving is suffering. So why do you say that grief and not suffering?
That means two verbs here, sochati and vihanjati. It is not necessarily the same all the time. It can be, as you said, but not necessarily the both. The both. Say, for instance, sometimes we have a certain grief about, but we don't suffer. Maybe we are not grieving too much. Depends. Let's say someone a friend passed away. We have a grief, but we are going to bounce back or be resilient very fast, right? So that grief, the what do you call the amount of the grief is different. But let's say someone we know in our family passed away. We have a huge amount of grief and we suffer a lot, right? So it's not necessarily the both all the time. It can be, it may be, it may not be. So that's why there are two Pali words to explain, because the Buddha goes to the minimal version of these issues. So grief, suffering, they both can come together. To some people, sometimes grief and suffering. Grief can be a minimal, no to minimal kind of a grief, which is not suffering. Say, for instance, someone is going to have a frustration, going to a restaurant. They say, we sold out, ran out of spaghetti today. How come? I can't go to another restaurant at this time. So frustrated. But it's not going to be a suffering, just a minor frustration. Right? Grief. I could have come here a little early, right? All right, I think we will go to the next stanza and the story, and then we will... Yes. Yes, Annie.
Bhante, Annie, Sotapanna cannot hide their akusalas. So it means that they have to
Sotapanna,
confess.
what do you say?
Sotapanna cannot hide their akusalas.
Cannot, yes.
Yes. So what do? They have to
apologize.
open up,
They apologize. They
confess.
make sure that they are not hiding anything. So they are very open about it.
Alright,
So one thing, a lot of people are, Bhante, how to know I become Sotapanna or not? Then this is a very good measurement. Whether you hide or not, if you hide, you are not a Sotapanna yet. If you are not hiding anything, you are a Sotapanna. See, all these are interesting ways of measuring our spiritual status. All right, let's go to our next stanza and the story, and we will then open up for the main questions. Okay, now the good side. Chunda Sukra was the bad side. Same stanza, but a little different. Ida modati. Modati means rejoice. And pecha modati, rejoice, as you understand. Tata punyo upayatta modati. The one who has done merits, I would say merits at this point, but this has to be understood a little differently. Upayatta modati. The meritorious one rejoices in both here and the after. So modati, so pamodati. There are two words here. Not even that someone is just enjoys. That person can also be delighted about one's own good karmas. Enjoys and delighted. That means not everybody having done good karmas can both enjoy and delight. There are people who simply enjoy, simply have a joy, but they cannot be delighted. It's kind of not necessarily status, but some are making that. Because having seen Kamma Visuddhi Mattana, purity of my actions or your actions, why can someone become very happy and then delighted in his or her own actions? Always do a certain, follow up to one's own activities every day just before the sleep, and then find out that today my actions in terms of my thoughts, my speech, my actions and thoughts, all these three main things are pure. I made sure that I took care of my actions, my speech, and my thoughts. So that is the purity. The more I think about my purity of my actions, my thoughts, my speech, then I can really, enjoy myself. Now, when you say enjoy, it could be a different secular, mundane strata. But here, the Buddha says real joy arises from the purity of our actions. Real joy. There is another joy. You might see the more you spoil, the more joyous you are. This is the normal idea. But here, the idea is when you see the purity of your action, purity comes from kusala activities. So then you are happy, at the same time, you are delighted. Now, I wanted to bring up the thing that I could not share. I told that I would share at the end, maybe somewhere in the middle. Punya, papa, kusala, akusala. Can you tell me the difference of these two? Is kusala synonymous to punya, or is akusala synonymous to papa? I think I shared with you an interesting, easy way to understand the difference between these two. Punya is the complementary result of a kusala activity. Now, let's say you are speaking good words, not lying, not dividing other people with your speech, not gossiping, not hurting other people. So, what you are getting out of this kusala activity in terms of speech is punya. What would you get if you speak, if you are really careful about your speech? Tell me what you will be getting. Because there are a lot of devotees who would like to have immediate benefits. Right? Even when they go for the meditation, they want to become a sotapan on the next day, right? Immediate benefits. Maybe next month, next year, right? What would you get when you speak good words? Tell me. It is said that when you speak good words, then in the next life, definitely, anyone did said that you can speak words very clearly. And there is a connection to the speaking of the words clearly. Right? It is said that Buddha got a very long tongue, isn't it? In many suttas. So you can speak words clearly. People will understand you. It is said that every time Buddha talks, there was a blue lotus fragrance that is going out of his mouth. Because ever since started becoming a bodhisattva, he has never broken anything out of these four: good speech, always speaking the truth, always bringing people together, always talking pleasant words, and always talking really important things to other people. So punya is the complementary level of kusala. So then are you supposed to do punya or kusala? If it is complementary, you don't have to do it in that way. Now there is someone who is going to the vihara or want to offer dana to the monks over there. Ever since that she or he came up with the idea that I want to go to the grocery store and then buy this and that and prepare sadhana, now make an appointment with the temple, whoever, and going to the temple on that particular day, and now giving dana, thinking about, okay, may I have this and that in my next life, and all that. So, begin bunch of expectations about what do you call out of that dana. So then she or he is making that dana in the punya way, complementary way. If it is complementary, you don't have to do it again. When it is raining, are you supposed to water your garden? You don't have to. It's raining. Unless you have a flower pot inside the house. So, punya is the complementary level of kusala. So, there is someone who is not doing the dana in the punya way, but in the kusala way. The first example, he or she is doing dana in the punya way. The only thing I want to do today, merit, 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 merit. I want a lot of merits. Right? So the second person who is going to do the dana in the kusala way, ever since he or she planning to give a dana, thinking about I want to serve the people who are out there. I'm not expecting, I may have a wish to do good karmas, but I'm not expecting those mundane benefits, worldly benefits for the next life, because they are complementary. Worldly benefits are complementary. They are coming automatically to you. You don't have to. So you have to do the dana. You shouldn't have to do the dana just to get the mundane benefits. The mundane benefits are complementary. So the second person is going to give the dana just to make those needs met in the temple. Serve the monks, make them happy, right? Give a kind of a gift to someone who really needs that gift, right? That is called kusala. But this stanza, let's take about the opposite side. Papa and akusala. Akusala is the mind of someone who is doing a papa, right? What you call loba dosa moha is akusala mind, and someone is going to create a papa karma, demerit, bad karma in this life and the next life. But in this stanza, you can see a slight difference. You can see when someone is doing good karmas, punya, this person will be happy, enjoy and delighted. How do we understand that separation between punya, papa, kusala, akusala over here? This stanza has been taken from the result perspective. Now, that person, the particular person must have done kusala karmas to be eligible to have the punyas. In the previous stanza, the person must have done akusalas to end up with papa as a result. That's what we can see in this stanza. Modati means enjoy, and then pamodati means delight. Let's understand the story. Dhammika. Dhammika. Who is Dhammika? Dhammika is a very famous layperson, layman during the Buddha's time. What happened to him? Dhammika Upasaka, the layperson, had 7 sons and 7 daughters. It's a big family. Yeah? So this Upasaka had 7 sons and 7 daughters. So now children understood their father is going to pass away. So they thought, because he was going to the temple, for many years, they thought we're going to invite monks, Sangha members into our house and then to chant for the father. That's what they went, and then they invited Sangha members to the house. So Sangha members know him for long term. So many of them went, and then they started chanting the Satipatthana Sutta. Satipatthana Sutta. Then probably they may explain Satipatthana Sutta as well. So halfway of the chanting, Dhammika Upasaka said, stop. So many monks who went there, they were unenlightened monks. They don't know what it is. Stop means, okay, I think he must be very tired now. Maybe he might be going to have the last moment. He better stop. That's why he said stop. Stop the chanting. They went back to the temple. After a while, he regained, I think, his consciousness in a better way. He asked his daughters and sons, where are the monks? And the father told them to stop. So they went to the temple. Then he said, no, I didn't say to them to stop the chanting, because there were many devas inviting me to come to their heaven. Please come. They were holding garlands. So they were trying to put the garland around my neck. I said, hey, stop. I still have to do more good karmas. So I will make a better selection for that. That's why I said to these devas, stop this. I want to do more good karmas here. And then after a while, he passed away. So that's why the Buddha said the one who has been doing good karmas, he has a lot of invitations from these Deva worlds. Devas are happy to welcome you, right? So he or she enjoys here and in the next life. So this, let me tell you something interesting. This is the only story we hear that someone in the human world is very much cherished by the Devas, waiting for his departure to their heavenly worlds. That means, what I can say is, when someone is going to pass away, there can be certain indications that are happening to someone. The person who is going to pass away, he or she can feel certain things. Right? Especially that if that person is a good person, that person can go through these kinds of invitations and then pass away. All right, I think we can take some questions if you have about today, especially about this stanza as well. If you have any question about this stanza or maybe the both stanzas, you can ask. Otherwise, I can continue a couple of things depending on the time. Yes, any questions? Yes, Susan, yes. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante. Bhante, if you bring your grieving and sufferance from your past life, do you actually know that it is from your past life, and can you do good karmas to reduce that suffering and grievance from the past?
He or she can. You are asking about neutralizing bad karma, isn't it? If somebody has done bad karmas. So yes, we never know about different people's past life. Okay, what Buddha says about the bad karma is that unless we have done 6 bad karmas, killing mother, killing father, killing arahants, wounding the Buddha, and making what you call schism, conflicts among the Sangha members, and then going after someone, a teacher who does not talk about how to end the dukkha. These are the 6 serious akusalas that we see in the text. This is given in the Bahudhatuka Sutta. You can read this sutta called Bahudhatuka. I'll give you the sutta number in the Majjhima Nikaya. Yeah, Majjhima Nikaya 115. Type that for you first. Yeah, this is a sutta where Buddha talks about the 6 crimes, and this is supported by the Ratana Sutta. Chacha bitanani abapukatuna. Sotapanna will never commit 6 heinous crimes, serious crimes. Now, let's say someone has not done these 6 bad karmas, right? But may have done other karmas. Actually, we are not really happy about this list. This means you can kill your brother, sister, relatives, whoever, right? Because they are not in the list. This is not a very comprehensive list to understand about the serious crimes. But what the Buddha says is that even a serial killer, very bad person, worst guy on this earth, if that person has not done bad karmas, even if he or she done the bad karmas, there is a way out for that person. What are the examples? Devadatta. Who is Devadatta? The monk who did a lot of bad things to the Buddha. He thought if I can kill the Buddha, he can get the Buddhahood, right? So he's supposed to be in the hell at the moment, but one day he's going to be a Buddha. Are you surprised? Tell me, are you surprised? How come he's going to be a Pacheka Buddha? He's going to be a Pacheka. And Ajasatta. Who is Ajasatta? Ajasatta. Who is he?
King Bimbisara's son.
King Bimbisara's son. King Bimbisara was killed by him. And then Ajasatta later on turned to Buddhism. And he even supported the first Sangha. But what happened? It is said that he was reborn in a hell. But one day he's going to become a Pacheka Buddha. Are you surprised? So what do these stories say? Every bad person has a way out one day. But I'm not going to justify this idea, because then all these criminals might be thinking, yeah, Buddha took our side, Buddha support us one day. Right? He's not evil. Like, he support us one day, because we can also become Buddha. So the idea here is that if we going to study more about the karma, we will end up with some bitter stories. That's why the Buddha said there are few areas you should not study a lot. Don't overthink, don't study. One area is karma. Do not overstudy about karma. What does it mean? You don't go to karma courses. You will be overthinking at the end. There are many people who are doing courses about karma. If you learn too much about karma, you might be overthinking about your karma. Even the Buddha, the study about the Buddha, do not overthink about the Buddha. Do not overthink about what do you call it? Chitta, thoughts. And there's one more. So there are 4 achinteyas. That means the Buddha asks us not to think too much. If we think too much, we will become mentally sick. The Buddha said, Umma dassa vidhatassa bhavyas. Have you ever found out someone who has studied Dhamma a lot and become mentally sick? I hope there are no people as such. But if you do not understand Dhamma for the practical life, it can happen to you. Too much Dhamma as a head knowledge. So the answer to this question is, yes, you can neutralize, you can mitigate, you can minimize the weight of the bad karma. How? By doing more good karmas. By doing more good karmas. Don't stop that giving dana is enough so far. Continue that dana activity. Practicing meditation is enough. Practicing sila is enough. Never ever stop or maybe reduce your version of spiritual life. Please continue. So that kind of perspective with the practice will help you neutralize your own bad karma. The example is coming from a sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya, I guess. Buddha was talking to Mahanama, the king. He said, some karmas can be neutralized, weaken the power. What are those karmas? The karmas that are not heinous, serious. How to neutralize, how to reduce the power of those karmas? By doing more good karmas. And he is giving us a simile for that. The simile is that someone is to, put some water into someone is going to add some salt into a glass of water. Tiny bit of salt into a glass of water. And as we understand, this glass of water will become saltish in a moment of time. Why is it? The amount of water is not going to be more, so that the glass of water will become saltish. But the same person is going to put the same amount of salt into the Ganges in India. Will the whole Ganges become saltish? No. The volume of water is more than the amount of the salt. In the same way, when there are people who have done little good karma, their good karma is like very measurable. There are people like that. Their good karma is like a glass of water. Even a tiny small bad karma will affect them. But there are people who have done a lot of good karmas. And then because of the power of these good karmas, the bad karma will be overpowered by the good karma. But don't take it as a free pass to do bad karma. I have done a lot of good karma so far. Why don't I lie to somebody, No problem, right? Don't take it that way. But I'm just giving you that good news. You can overpower unless you have done those 6 heinous karmas. That's what happened to Angulimala. But if Angulimala killed his mother, he'd be out of this enlightenment. Then you might be thinking, oh, pity on those 999 people who he killed. Then the Buddha said, that is their bad karma. Those people who were killed by him on the way in the forest, that was their bad karma. So they were killed by him. That's why when we talk about these things, you might feel like it's very unfair, right? Some people are killed by somebody. So the person who killed going to be an arahant. Other people are killed by him. What an unfair situation for these people. That's why I don't like to talk about this karma a little too seriously. Then you might feel, what an unfair thing that is happened to these people. That's what the Buddha also said. Buddha also said, don't overthink, don't overstudy karma, Buddha, mind. Then you will come to certain very unfair judgments. All right, any other questions? Yes, I think I saw someone else who wanted to ask a question. Who was that? Yes, Pali.
Bhante, I have a question on do not overstudy karma. So in the verse 16, right? So when we do something good, we reflect back. So we know that it's wise to rejoice in that karma. But if we put it on the reverse side, let's say something bad happened to us or something we have a bad day. So during that time we are aware we are having a bad day. Then how do we manage that situation with the right mindset? Because we're having a bad day, do we just accept that this is a bad day? Probably I did something bad in the past, so this is the results. But should we just stop there or do we not do this at all? Yeah.
Okay, a very good question. How to stop the bad day? One thing is that were the conditions for the bad day coming from my side or from other people's side? Or was it stoppable? That's a good way to look at it. Let's say now, what do you mean by the bad day? Can you give us a very simple, non-private example for that? What is this bad day? Different people go through, might define bad day differently.
Okay, so maybe for example, at work, right? So we know this project, if the person who get this project means not in a good situation, it's a bad luck because nobody wants this project. So then the project comes to you and then you have to accept it and then you say like, okay, this is my luck. I probably did something bad in the past and then I deserve this. Then how do you continue to carry on? Like, because in the mind is already noting that this is this is my bad luck, my bad luck, my bad luck thing. But is that the right way to approach the situation?
Now, the initial problem here is that Paripurna, in our life, we are getting good and bad equally, sometimes disproportionately as well. There's no guarantee that we are supposed to have all the good things every time. Now, we have a bad sanya here, in this case. This project is a bad project. It should not come to me. But it's not an evil project. Right? Probably, it could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe everybody else is rejecting this project, thinking that this project is a bad project. You may have your own version of looking at it. But what I can see is that rather thinking, now we can look at it in two ways. One is how to stop a bad project coming to me. It is really unavoidable sometimes, because we are not the people who are making decisions in the company, be your immediate boss or whoever. So we cannot run away from this sometimes. That is one thing, right? Let's say you can run away from this situation, then you should have some smart wisdom at that point, if you think that that is appropriate within your workplace. Second thing is, let's say you cannot avoid it. It is coming to you. At that point, one thing I can think about is why it has been a bad project. Can I fix, can I add something? Can I show that this is a good project with my skills and all that? Whether I can grow with this project. Whether I can show that this is not the bad project, this is a good one, it depends on the person who is handling this project. So there are many ways to look at it. Now, but you took good as good work. What do you call that? You said good karma is spending a good day and bad karma is getting a bad project. Right? Right. So I don't think it's a bad karma. I think probably this could be a good place to showcase your talents, which many people in the company could not show that they could handle this project. This is one thing. Otherwise, if you can, if you think this is such a very issue, then you can use your wisdom to, sort of, work in that position. Otherwise, I think the best thing is not to run away from these things. If you like the company, many others will walk away from situation, but probably you can take it and handle it. You can use your wisdom. You can show that this is a growing project. I can handle it in a different way. But then it also attaches to the satisfaction with your work, about you with regard to your workplace. So I can't give you one particular answer to this question. What I can say is we Buddhists are not trying to walk away from the situation to feel our happiness. We are more to understand what's happening and then to make conscious, wise decisions. So that's what I can say with regard to this. So.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. I think what I can take from Bhante's guidance is treat it as a new situation.
Yeah, I mean, why other people are walking away from the project? Maybe they don't have the enough skills to handle this. So you're gonna take it if you think you can take it. Maybe you can try out this different project. You're gonna show your top management, I can do better projects, not even this. And then they will be happy. There are people who are going to misuse us, but you could look at it in a different angle. We Buddhists, we are not running away from the reality. Running away and finding different happiness is not our way. That's a different hanky-panky type of traditions happiness. We Buddhists are going to take it, understand it, then we are growing with that activity, in this case, the project. So, yeah, so that's what I can think about.
Okay.
Otherwise, you always have the opportunity to change your jobs, move to another company, right? Why you are staying with the same company? You think there are good sides as well. So look at it from a very larger, broader perspective about. I think it's not that there are bad projects. It's the way how we look at it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Bhante, I think maybe there is a good learning ground to start kick and learn from whatever project is given.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know exactly what Paripurna is going through with the project, but what I just said to think about, consider. You always have the choice to, just to dismiss the project if you could, or if you think this is a place to grow in your career, that's another way to look at it. Yes, other questions?
Bhante,
Bhante is... there is... Okay, Sumana, after you. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, please.
Yeah. Okay, so Bhante, just Sochati and Domanassa, is it similar? Because both are grieving? Or Domanassa is a higher form of grief? Yeah.
No, Domanassa is the mental unhappiness. Dukkha is the physical unhappiness. I think that is a very interesting remark, which I want to show. Let me write that for you. Okay. Now, dukkha, Pali word dukkha has been loosely taken by many people to indicate suffering. But here dukkha means physical, mostly physical suffering. I would say some physical, I would say dissatisfaction. Huh? Then domanassa. You can see mana over here definitely. See, manassa. This one is mental. But here in this stanza, you can go back here, sochati. Now, sochati, we understand is grieving. So actually this has the both. When you are grieving, you can be emaciated, you can be thin, and it is connected to mentality as well. So it's kind of mental, emotional, physical. So they are so grief, sochati carries all the aspects of dukkha and domanassa.
I thought it was the other way around. But okay, thank you, Bhante, for the clarification.
It's like the Matta Kundali story. Yeah? Matta Kundali became a deva, and then when the Adina Pubbaka, his father, went to the graveyard, now Adina Pubbaka is very unhappy what he did to his son. Then Matta Kundali appeared as like a small child, and then he also was crying now. Adina Pubbaka asked, "Why are you crying?" You know what? I have a sort of a vehicle. I need 2 wheels for that. He said, "Why don't you go and find 2 wheels?" No. I want 1 wheel as the sun, the other wheel as the moon. He said, "No, it's not. It's not going to work. You will never find sun and the moon as the 2 wheels of your bicycle or whatever." And then he was using the same example. Why you are crying? My son passed away. I know I did not take care of him. Same thing. You are not going to get him back. You will never get him back. You should have learned a lesson out of what you did to him. You did not take care of him, right? And then he was having sochati, physically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah. All right, Sumana, what's the question?
Bhante, if doing good, thinking of getting the merit is a great thought.
If doing good acts to gain merits, yeah. Sumana, can you please unmute your mic?
No. Bhante, if is doing good act, thinking of getting more merits is a great thought.
It's not a great thought. It's an easy thought some people are spreading to do because it's an easy way. Sometimes there are different people who are trying to use different strategies to get people into the activities. These activities are not even devotees' activities at a certain point. It can be a big project at a certain point. Now, what we understand throughout the text is that don't do any good activity just to get something out of it. You may have a wish to attain Nibbana. Do it just to overcome your Lobha Dosa Moha. When you are trying to overcome Lobha Dosa Moha with that activity, how come you are expecting more merits out of it? What I told you was that you will get more merits if you don't expect. Because every good karma, kusala activity, has merits as complementary benefits. Why are you going to buy them as an add-on? You don't have to, because they are complementary. Now you said doing good karma just to get merit is a good one. What I'm saying is that do all the kusala activities in a kusala way without expecting those merits, then you will get more merit. Which one you want to pick? You want to double the good karma, or you want to quadruple the good karma? Which one you want to choose? Go for the last one. In one of the suttas in the Samyutta Nikaya, Buddha says there are people who cannot enjoy their karmas. They are rupa, satta, gandha, rasa, pottappa, dhamma. That means they have very good people around them, but they cannot enjoy their life. They have places, they have the good nature, and they hear good things. Maybe they have good food, but they will never go and eat them until they become stale food, expired food. See, I could not eat this food, now it's expired. Why is it? They have a couple of cars, their mind says, hey, pick up that old one, don't use the new one. There are a couple of houses, they are always going back to the old rundown house. Why? Their mind says, don't go there. Go to the rundown, dilapidated old house. Why? In past life, they have given dana with lot of expectations. So they will get it, but they are not going to be having the mind to enjoy. And you may have seen there are people who don't have a lot of things in their life, but they are enjoying their life. Have you seen them? Why is it? They haven't done a lot of good karma, but the tiny good karmas they've done without expectations. So they have the mind to enjoy. Possessing good things and being able to enjoy those possessions, there are two types of results of two good karmas, two ways of good karma. A very interesting thing. So now you can decide how you want to do. If you want to do that way, this way, you can. It's up to you. All right. We can take one more question and then we will. Yes, Aliana. Oh, two questions.
Never mind, Aliana, go first.
Aliana and then
Aliana,
Malik.
go first.
Yes.
So Bhante, is it Kusala way in doing dana same as Chaga?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Bhante.
Yes. Chaga is the way. Chaga is a particular word for the dana when someone does it in the kusala way. Yeah. Yes, Melinda.
Bhante, can Bhante explain again Sochati? Is it grieving mentally and physically? Because I cannot catch it just now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, actually, sruch means tears. If you go back to the root, tears, tears coming out. But when you look at how does the Pali verb sochati come from, that means you are in an activity by which you are creating tears, right? So, but when these tears are coming out, in terms of the larger broader meaning of sochati, it has both what you call grieving in many ways, grieving physically. Actually, when people are grieving initially mentally, isn't it? They are initially grieving mentally. They are good people. They are eating good, living good, but suddenly they feel very sad, very down. Something has crossed hampered their emotional, mental life, right? So ever since that moment, this person is not in the normal mood. So then, mentally, emotionally, grieving, and then because of the mental, emotional grieving, it will then affect the body. Not eating well, not sleeping well, then the body also then affected at the end. So grief matters to all these areas.
Okay, thank you so much for the explanation. Thank you, Bhante.
And the other thing is grief arises from dosa. Dosa, that means you don't like what happened, right? So you are on the side, you are developing dosa. All right, I think it's the time to wrap this up, our OPRC lesson today, day 49. May all the good karmas should be making today by understanding the importance of not doing akusalas, and then understanding the second layer of akusala as papa, and the importance of doing kusala continuously, and understanding the next layer of kusala as punya, complementary level. May all these good karmas be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away. In the name of all of us, may they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi nyati nang hutu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idammi nyati nang hutu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idammi nyati nang hutu sukita huntu nyatayo. May Deva Naga Mahitika also share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy, and may they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May they also at the same time bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and saint. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ettavata cha amehi sampatang punya sampadang sabediva anudantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ettavata cha amehi sampatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anudantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ettavata cha amehi sampatang punya sampadang Sabbe sattva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu lokasasanam akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu desanam akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mang paranti chirang rakhantu tvang sadanti. At the same time, may we be able to be in the company of Kalyana Mittas till we attain Nibbana. Kalyana Mittas represent the full spiritual life that we are supposed to spend till we attain Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to make things. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavanitpan patya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been making today, day 49 of our online Pali reading class, be supporting and helpful for all of us to attain supreme bliss. Sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana siris nichang vadha pachainu chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarukya sampatti sagga sampatti mevache atu nibbana sampatti iminati samichyatu sadhu sadhu. With that, I would like to wish you a good evening. We'll be seeing you next Thursday at the same time. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
see
you,
you tomorrow.
Bhante. Sadhu,
Yes.
sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, bye.
Take care,
Bye bye.
everybody.
Take care.
Good night.
Sadhu, Bhante. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Yes. Where am I? How to get?
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.